Welcome to the Farside channel. This is our Business Owner Challenges series. Today we are chatting to Janine from Jelani Sales. Looking forward to this one because I think sales is a section where everybody battles, and it's really nice to have someone who can help you with a really big challenge. And we'll find out what Janine's biggest challenge is as well. So welcome, Janine. Thank you for joining us today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm as excited as you are to share some of my experiences with everybody listening out today. So thank you for the opportunity.
Such a pleasure to have you. So, Janine, tell us more about Jelani Sales, what you do, and how you ended up doing this.
Well, I'm going to cut that story a bit short, but it's an interesting one. I started Jelani Sales as a sideline business in 2019 and realized that there's such a big gap in the market in the sense of the sales process. And being a sales executive for over 20 years, as a salesperson, all you want is the client to sign on their dotted line and continue. And as soon as the third time you phone and they say they're really not interested, I've learned that a no is not the end game. It comes back to following up and nurturing those clients. And when I saw that gap, I realized that I can actually start a business by doing so. And because Jelani was the sideline business, in 2020, the business did so well. And yeah, I realized, okay, what is happening here? Let's jump. So yeah, Jelani Sales was established in 2019, and we are your virtual sales office. We assist business owners and sales managers with actually running a sales process, from the cold calling, the database building and management, the nurturing of potential clients, the follow-ups that is so important to lead generation. That is, in a nutshell, what Jelani is all about.
And such an important service. And a lot of business owners can't afford to have their own sales department. And
Mm.
yet that's what keeps us in business, isn't it? Is sales. If we don't have sales coming in, we're going to be closing our doors pretty soon. So I'm not surprised to hear that you did really well in 2020, and ever since, I'm sure that you were actually in quite high demand over that
Indeed,
period.
indeed, it was an interesting journey as well, learning what works and what doesn't work in the time that we were living in. But definitely, clients and potential clients is a big thing to have in your business and keep having that journey with your potential clients. Very important.
It really is. Tell me, do you also help with the research, that finding of potential clients? Because I think that is a big challenge a lot of business owners, I know myself included, is how do you find these people that you're now going to try and sell to? Because you can't just sort of randomly just fire a machine gun into the crowd. You need to know who you want to talk to. Do you assist with that part of it as well?
Yes. So we do like a discovery call with our clients to understand where they're at, what has worked and what hasn't worked for them, to understand, that what we can provide is completely different, but yet in the same values of our clients. So we do definitely help with the research and getting them to the right people, and not just, as you say, shotgun fired and boom, there's 100 leads for you, but out of the 180 is, duds, lack of a better word. So yes, we do definitely assist with the research part of it, and then start building the database and become more strategic in terms of the sales process for you as clients.
Sure, that's really valuable. That is a very valuable service. But what would you say your biggest challenge has been building? Because obviously you can do sales and you can find customers. So your biggest challenge is going to be quite different, I think, to most business owners who battled to actually make the sale. What was your biggest challenge?
Yeah, my biggest challenge, starting a business is a significant accomplishment, but maintaining one is a bigger challenge. And I think a lot of will say, yep, indeed so. So for me, one of the biggest challenges was that I had one fantastic assistant who started last year. And she resigned due to an overseas contract she got in Dubai. So this was totally unexpected, unplanned, but of course, one cannot stand in the way of growth. So I was very happy for her. But during this time, she handled quite a bit of important tasks for me. So when
Mm.
she left, I had to take over those tasks together with the other new clients and projects I signed up.
Oh my goodness,
So
yeah.
using my leadership skills with the problem solving skills I have, I pushed the project forward, encouraged myself in so many ways, and completed the responsibilities as well as all the other stuff you do as a business owner, right? So that was a big challenge is by letting go and giving to others to do, and if pitfalls happen, that you
Yes.
need to be ready. You need to be
Yeah.
ready to know that you can handle it all as well. So
Sure.
having a process in place, um, it streamlines things a lot so that when that happens, you're not so flustered and you're not stressed out too much because there's systems in place, there's processes in place that will streamline everything for you. So for me, that was one of my biggest challenges. And the other thing is letting go. Um, yeah, I see exactly. The sense of outsourcing to other trusted collaboration partners. That took
Mm.
me some time in my business to realize that that is actually the best thing for the business to keep growing.
Yeah, yeah, especially as a young business. I know that was also one of my very slow lessons. Was to trust other people. You had this feeling that they're not going to do it the way you would do it or the way you want it done. And in some cases that's true, but that's on you. And that was something I had to learn is people can't read my mind. They don't know what my values are. They don't know what my processes are. In my industry, I had this impression, bookkeeping is the same. And I had this impression that if you just got a bookkeeper in, they'll do it to the same standard and same level that I did it. And it was quite a shock to my system actually to discover that
Hmm.
they don't necessarily do so. And not because maybe because they're not as good a bookkeeper, that does happen, but also because they've been taught by someone else, so they have a different way of
Hmm.
approaching something. They have a different thought process behind their own procedures and their own manner of handling that work. And if you don't sit down with this person that you're expecting to do things for your company, if you don't sit down with them and say, I want it done like this, then
Hmm.
they're automatically going to do it their way.
Exactly.
That's only to be expected. So yeah, I think that was for me a big thing was to realize that if I want someone to do it the way I would want to do it, then I need to explain how I want it done,
Exactly.
and make it clear and
Communication.
easy to follow. And as you say, procedures make such a big difference. If you've actually got standard operating procedures that you've written out and or done into videos or whatever is easier for you, but you've got a standard way of doing things, it's a lot easier to let go and a
Indeed.
lot easier to trust someone with your baby. It's your baby.
Exactly. Very true. Very true.
And have you found now that you're not so scared of the collaboration or of the outsourcing? Are you finding the collaboration is helping you? It's growing your business? Is it opening new avenues for you?
Oh, definitely. I wish I collaborated more earlier in Jelani sales because it has changed so many things and in such a big positive manner. So definitely in a good space when it comes to collaborating and outsourcing because it gives me the opportunity to grow the business and also focus more on the business rather than in it.
Mm, mm. And that's an important thing. I think very few business owners, we all know that we need to be working on the business, and you hear it so many times. That phrase
Yes.
is so common. I don't think there's a business owner who hasn't heard it. Work on your business instead of in your business. And it's all very well to hear it and say it, but it's in practice it's very difficult to do. You've got to keep your business running. You've got to keep your clients happy. There are things that have to happen, and if you're the only person in the business, which is often the case in the beginning, then working on the business itself is very challenging. It's hard.
Very hard. Very hard. It just doesn't happen. You have to action it to actually make it happen.
I suppose as someone who does admin, I know you do sales admin, but you are very admin. I mean, I know you've got the Explore Protect van, the virtual assistant network. So you deal a lot with virtual assistants, which I'm going to assume means that you're quite good at things like scheduling and making sure you've put time on your calendar to do those important things.
Exactly. The calendar might look busy, but as long as it's a productive day, then now we're going into a different conversation with that one word, productive. But yes, indeed, I really love admin, because if your admin is in place, then your mindset is in a better place, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it helps you declutter.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah. You're training for the Business Builder this week, aren't you, on decluttering to get things nice
I
and clean for
am.
sales. I'm quite looking forward to that. So yeah, if anyone watching this as well, even if it's in the future, that should be in a recording somewhere here on the channel as well. So we're really looking forward to hearing from you about how to declutter our desks and get ourselves on track with sales. That's going to be very, very helpful, particularly for me. I think a lot of professionals, like accountants and lawyers and business advisors, we really don't put much thought into sales and admin, and we need to. If those, as you just said, if your admin is in good order, it really makes a big difference to your day.
No, indeed. Yeah, look, I can't wait to do this talk. I'm quite excited about it. And yeah, decluttering is a big thing. It is a big thing. It almost makes you think that you need to make health a client. Your own health needs to be a client of yours, because if your mindset is fine and your health is in a good space, nothing can stop you. You
So
are a gladiator.
I love that. I love the concept of making your health a client.
Yeah.
Because I speak a lot about the fact that because I mental health and preventing burnout is a big thing for me. So I speak a lot about the fact that your business health is directly proportional to your personal health. And if you're not looking after yourself, your business is going to pay for it.
Yeah.
But I've never thought of it in terms of making your health a customer. That's a really good viewpoint, because then you really are going to prioritize keeping that health in good order, aren't you?
Exactly, because you're seeing it as a client. And how do you treat your clients? All of them are VIPs. So should your health.
That is awesome. I love that. I think that is such a good idea, such a good concept.
Awesome.
So tell me, Janine, what piece of advice would you give your younger self, knowing all the things you know now, having gone through a corporate job and starting your business and facing those challenges and getting them right? What would you tell young Janine if you could talk to her today?
Sure. This question can sometimes be very deep. But for me, it's at this point, it's whatever you do, believe in yourself. Um, you have untapped potential and you will accomplish everything you have dreamed about. Um, and no one has the right to tell you you can't do something great in your life. Advice I would definitely give is don't allow them to justify their, let's say, mediocre lives by destroying your dream. Life is short. Don't 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 worry about what other people think. You do you, and stay within your own values. I think I covered quite a bit there, but
No, that is amazing. That is such good advice. I think for anyone at any stage of life, but especially if there are young people watching, I think all of us, when we look back, or all of us that are, I won't mention my age, all of us that are older, when we look back, we think, I just wish I had just believed in me, that I hadn't worried so much about what other people thought of my decisions. And I mean, there's some people you need to worry about. There's people in your life that are important to you, and you want to keep them happy, and you respect their opinions. But there are a lot of other people that really don't need to have a say in where your life goes. So
very
I think I think that's really, really good advice for anyone at any stage of life right now.
The one thing that actually stuck with me for life is what my mom used to say to me when I just matriculated. She said to me, "You need to listen to adults, but you also don't need to listen to adults."
Oh, thanks, Mom. That's not
Yeah,
confusing at all.
at all.
Yeah, but although she's right, hey, but that's I think a lot of life we face a lot of contradictions at the same time, and we have to just pick the one that makes sense at that moment, especially in business.
Yeah,
So,
indeed, especially in business.
oh, that's awesome. Okay, Janine, my last question to you is what advice would you give a business owner who comes to you and says they need help with their sales? Where would you tell them to start?
So the one thing is, do they have a database? A database can be a pot of gold. And that's where I would always start, is with that database. Because if you think about it, not every person that you're going to phone is going to be in the buying space or the space where they need your services or products. And what I love to do is to take that database and nurture the database by converting those potentials to a warmer lead. And from the warmer lead, we actually convert them. And then you have built that relationship with that client. Because when we phone at Jelani Sales, or we do cold calling, etc., we don't phone as if we're working for Jelani Sales. We phone as if we are working for A, B, and C company, as if we are the sales department or the admin assistant or whatever. Because at the end of the day, it's your business brand that we want people to keep top of mind. So I always ask the question, if you do have a database, and people say, "Oh no, I don't have a database." I'm like, no, 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 you do. It's all those business cards that's in a drawer that needs to be placed into an Excel spreadsheet, and that becomes a database. The same
Mm.
with our phones. Some of us have got over 3,000 contacts. Let's start there. Build a database with people you know and potential clients that you tried to contact 2, 3 years ago. Look, we all know that a lot can happen in 2 weeks, not even to say 3 years. But it comes back to the following up process, the nurturing side of things. And this is things I'm going to be talking about later this week when decluttering comes a big thing.
Oh, awesome. I'm looking forward to that. I really am. So I encourage people to come poking around this channel to find that recording as well, because it'll be worth watching. And if anyone is watching right now, Janine, and they would like to get in contact with you, what is the easiest way to connect with you?
The easiest way is to send me an email, and my email address is hello HELLO at jelanisales.com, and I will reply within 24 hours. That is the easiest, indeed.
Awesome. We'll put that email address below the video. Is there any other link, like can they connect with you on LinkedIn or
Yes,
Facebook?
they can definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. I don't know if you want to share the link in the video, but it's really just my name, Janine Langenfelder, that you can search and I will pop up.
Awesome. Now we'll put the link below the video definitely so people can connect with you. I do encourage you, if you're watching, to connect with Janine. You've seen how lovely she is to chat to, and I know that she is very willing to help people who reach out to her. She's also, as I mentioned very briefly, the head of Explore Protech VAN, which is the virtual assistant network. So if you're watching as a virtual assistant and you feel like you could do with some networking and some support, then definitely reach out to Janine and chat to her about the van and what you can get out of it, because I think it will be worth your while. So thanks, Janine. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was so much fun. And yeah, looking forward to new connections. Thanks for this platform.
Absolute pleasure.